The countdown clock is winding down with less than 2 weeks left until the midterm elections. Both parties are making their final pushes to rally their bases in these final days. More and more, it appears control of Congress could rest on one key segment of the population, suburban women. That seems to be particularly true in New Jersey, where Lisa Desjardins sat down this week with a group of women who want their voices heard and their votes to matter.
I am here in the iconic TikTok Diner in Clifton, New Jersey, just outside of New York City, with 4 women who plan to vote in this year's midterm elections. Michelle Rogers is a stay-at-home mom with 3 sons. She lives in Randolph, New Jersey. Wynn Kuhn is also a stay-at-home mom of 3 in Madison, New Jersey. Mary Lynn McLaughlin is a travel agent in Morristown, New Jersey, and a mom of 4. Karen Arakelian lives in Montville, New Jersey, and has 2 children. She is the owner of several furniture and design stores around the state. One reason we brought you all together is because, you know, this year there's been so much talk about women, and you are seeing suburban women in particular as the key force in this election. Do you feel like powerful people? Do you feel like the key force in this election? You're shaking your head, no? What is most important to you right now as you try and decide how to vote?
It's the economy, and it's New Jersey's economy, which it's unaffordable. It's unaffordable for us, and people would say, okay, you're upper middle class. It's unaffordable for our poor. It's just unaffordable on all levels. I feel like we need to get to the bottom of it and find out how to alleviate our tax issue, our tax problem.
You're a business owner. What do you think?
I think that the Republican tax plan that was just started is causing a lot of good things to happen in the country and in the state. I mean, we have a very mixed population in New Jersey. We have people who make under $40,000, and we have people that make over $4 million. So the people making over $4 million will be paying more taxes. People like some of my family, they're going to be saving a lot of tax dollars this year. So I'm seeing the money being saved and spent, and I think it's good. I think it's a good thing.
Another economic issue that we hear a lot about this year is healthcare. Do you all have healthcare concerns in your own lives, the cost of healthcare? I'd see Michelle.
I think it definitely is an issue. They're saying they want to repeal the Affordable Care Act, and yet there was not an adequate replacement.
Karen?
I have a company where I employ over 25 people, and most of them are on our health care. I saw the premium skyrocket after Obamacare came in. I don't really see what Obamacare has done for the people of this area. I right now have to fund the deductibles on all of my people. My company pays the deductibles so that we can even afford to have health care. That's not a plan.
Well,
not a plan.
I think that, but what is the plan?
I don't know, but I don't think that's the plan.
And I think before you eliminate the Affordable Care Act, maybe try to fix it. Why throw the baby out with the bathwater? Make efforts to fix it.
I totally agree. And the problem with that is the Democrats don't want to hear anything that President Trump wants to do. It's all over.
I don't think that's true.
Well, but it's a fact. It's not a suggestion, it's a fact. They have to not be so staunch on if President Trump suggests it, we say no. And they did that with Kavanaugh. They turned down the candidate before he was even announced.
What, if any, impact did the Brett Kavanaugh hearings have on you?
It scared me. Really scared me. Because
in what way?
Yes.
In what way? It could be my son. It could be any person of power that out of the blue, an accusation can come out and ruin their life.
I'm with you because I with that whole thing too, I have 4 sons. And one of them even said to me, you know, Mom, in high school, there are cringeful moments for everybody in high school. And anybody in that room that was interrogating him probably had something in their high school career or time that they weren't very happy about. So some of the questions were ridiculous, they were political.
Michelle, you also are a mother of a son.
I am 3 sons.
3 sons?
Yes. And my perspective on it would be, and I actually know someone in our group, our immediate friend group, their son was falsely accused. So I see what you're saying, but I think I'm not fearful for my sons, because I know that the statistics are that when you look at the number of sexual assault accusations and how many are not reported because they're afraid that they won't be believed and they don't report it, the number of false accusations is minuscule. It's, I think, less than 1% or 1%. So I'm not worried about my sons. I'm not, because I feel that I'm more worried about if I had a daughter, I would worry about my daughter. I would worry about her being believed and being heard. That would be a larger concern.
When you do have a daughter, oh, go ahead.
I have 2 sons and a daughter, but I want to get back to what Karen was saying. And what I want us to, as people, to step away is when a Trump plan or a Trump nominee comes up, I don't want us to assume that the other side is already against it. I mean, there's enough open-mindedness to take a look at, because for me, as I'm a registered Democrat now, but for sure, with everything that I look at, I'm really wanting to solve, because I love this country.
Yeah.
For me, the way our country is, and it starts with the leader at the top, I feel that he is eroding the pillars of our democracy, and that's why I feel like I have to do what I can to do in order to take back the House, to provide checks and balances. That's what I want. I want checks and balances.
I just wanted to say that I really loved what you were saying, because for me, I totally agree. I don't like that you're either with me or you're stupid, or you're with me or you're wrong, because I think a lot of what we're taking as fact is opinions. It is opinion, and I think it does start at the top. That's been my problem since 2016, is that I feel like our leader, when we have a fractured country, our leader has pep rallies where he's calling me basically an idiot. He's calling me evil. I think that bringing our country together will have to start at the grassroots, because we're not getting it from the top. And I think it needs to start at these tables and around the dinner tables and in our communities, because we're not getting that kumbaya from the top. We're getting the opposite.
I want to ask you to talk about the president.
I thought our country needed to go in a different direction. I thought that we were going in an entirely crazy direction, and it was illegal immigration, national security, the economy. We weren't really growing. We were meandering along. And I felt like a lot of voices weren't being heard. So I thought, okay, you talk about hope and change. He's not exactly the hope and change type personality you want, right? He's not my type of guy. But if we could look behind and see where we are, you know, a couple years later, I think we're heading in a better direction. I know there's a lot of divisiveness in the country, but I think a lot of it stems from this crazy anger that he actually won. And, you know, I know he won, and I know a lot of people don't like him, and I know he says a lot of offensive things, and I wish he didn't. And I wish sometimes he would be a little bit more presidential, but that's not who he is. But I do believe he loves the country.
My last question for you all is, if you could each just name a few words of what values you want in leaders, what you want them to be.
Honesty, truthfulness.
Moral, ethical,
Integrity.
kindness, respect for others.
I want somebody smart that sees the big picture and that will work across party lines to get things done for the country. And I think that we have that, and a lot of people don't recognize it.
You all almost agree.
Yeah.
Very close. Very close. Certainly on what you're looking for. You certainly agree, I think in general, on what you're looking for.
Whether we have it or not, we probably don't agree. But
We can't thank you enough. Thank you all very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.